A lazy anarchist on jury duty? Taos County summoned me to serve on a homicide jury. What now? Written and read by yours truly, Oakie McDoakie. Screw-ups and all. Taos County summoned me for jury duty. I left the summons sitting on my side table for days. As an anarchist, what should I have done? I don't happen to believe this American government is legitimate. Not just Taos County, but all the way up through Santa Fe and Washington, D.C. I don't believe these governments have earned moral authority over the rest of us. But whatever I believe, there was that cardstock summons sitting on my side table and a deadline to respond. I probably should have ignored it as an act of civil disobedience. But I complied. I'm a lazy anarchist who doesn't want a fine or jail time. And unlike Thoreau, I don't have an Emerson to bail me out. All my friends have to offer is thoughts and prayers. So I confirmed my receipt via the summons QR code. Then, when a link arrived by email to the confidential questionnaire for prospective jurors, I dutifully filled out the questions and clicked submit. I'm guessing I won't get called, though. One question asked whether anything would make it hard for me to be fair and impartial as a juror. Yes, there was. I think the courts are a tool of state oppression. That's in addition to negative experiences I've personally had with the Taos County Sheriff's and District Attorney's offices. Now, you'd think with those beliefs and all that attitude, I'd avoid the law whenever possible as a matter of principle. Nope, not entirely. I'm a lazy anarchist, as I said, and also a hypocritical one. A few years ago, I used the Taos County legal system to push someone way the hell out of my life. A troubled friend threatened to kill me. My instinct was to handle things myself, the old-fashioned way. But then I stopped and thought. I'm 50-something years old, not in fighting shape, and not eager to go to prison. Assuming I came out on top. Swallowing my bile, I took a road trip, putting some distance between us. Then I got a restraining order through the Taos County Court. Being that this troubled friend is a felon, the restraining order and a couple deputy visits scared them into leaving the state. For good. So even though I don't see this government as morally legitimate, I borrowed its power to win. That hypocrisy doesn't bother me one bit. Under New Mexico and U.S. dominion, it was the best way to keep both of us alive and out of prison. Now, borrowing the state's power to solve my own crisis was one thing. Being asked to wield that same power over someone else? I don't know about that. As it happens, the judge in this upcoming case is the same one who granted my restraining order. Taos County being a small place. I noted that in the questionnaire. Maybe that'll get me excused, and maybe it won't. But then again, I might get called anyhow. That decision isn't mine. I mean, I could refuse if ordered to serve on the jury, but we already know I'm not going to make a stand. So what then? How does an anarchist actually do jury duty? How does he conduct himself? I imagine myself showing up at the courthouse. That part is easy enough because I've stood in that courtroom before, arguing before that same judge for a restraining order. This time, though, I wouldn't be sitting in the gallery waiting for my name to be called. I'd be in the jury box. So there I would sit, the accused a little off to my right, the district attorney, the defense lawyer, somewhere behind them perhaps the family of the slain and the family of the accused. Other people watching from the gallery. Everyone in that room would have arrived carrying a different version of events. One person would already be dead. Another might lose years of their life. And 12 ordinary people would be asked to decide whether the state had proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. I would listen carefully. I would watch faces as much as words. I'd try to decide who seemed honest, who seemed mistaken, who seemed to have something to gain. As if I could tell. As if I'm a mind reader. But I'd do my best. Yet how could I ever know I was hearing the whole story? Even if everyone in that courtroom acted in perfect good faith, I'd only know what made it into that room. Witnesses forget. Evidence gets excluded. Questions go unasked. Reality is always bigger than a trial. At the end, the judge would instruct us on the law, send us into a room together, and ask us to reach a verdict. Then the whole mess would be in my lap, mine and my fellow jurors. Who are we to judge another human being? Who are we to decide their fate? And as if we could somehow strike the right balance between punishment, protection, reform, and restoration. Who is anyone? Appointed juror, elected judge, or king by divine right and conquest? No one. I just can't believe anyone is wise enough to wield that kind of power. That's why I'm a damn anarchist in the first place. If you like this, tip me on ko-fi.com/Oakie McDoakie or follow me on Substack and the socials. Just go to oakiemcdoakie.com. Until next time, don't let the bastards wear you down.